Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today we are testing Adam Warlock in DD4 Legendary. So I've been getting a lot of requests for this. It took me some time to work my way all the way back through all the sections of DD4. I had to get all the way back to Cosmic to test out. Of course, we did that much earlier. The rest of Infinity Watch, you've seen that video. I linked it below if you're interested in seeing it. They did amazing. Now we're testing Adam Warlock. I got back to Legendary. And this, I think, is a fairly ordinary team. A lot of people are bringing in Jubilee, so I could see Jubilee being in instead of Phoenix. I haven't even brought my Jubilee to Gear Tier 15. I don't think she needs it, but this is similar, similar to the team I originally used, except I was using Invisible Woman. I have a pretty good sense of how characters are performing in DD4. I get a lot of input from people, so I think this will be a great test to see how Adam Warlock compares. I will just say you could see from the beginning, just by looking at these pips here, how much more health he has than these other characters. Other than really Doc Ock, who's got, level 3 blue ISO and is a very high health character. You could see compared to Phoenix and so on. I will just say that, the power creep on the stats alone should help. I expect him to do well, too, with the stuns and ability blocks. So let's just see how he does. I will say that the setup I have here, I think, is generally the best setup with Phoenix. You really want her in the middle. The AI tends to focus her a little bit more there, was what I found when I was running DD4 back, 7-8 months ago now. I will say, though, that the real MVP is Doc Ock. And it is helpful, though, to make sure that you have characters positioned next to him that you can protect with Deflect. Some of you, I always get comments from people saying, oh, well, I can't do this because I don't have 5 characters. I can't have the space. Actually, you can. Just go to your Blitz squads, and you can easily set this up and put the space in there. So, all right, so let's do this. Summon here. Let's see what happens there. All right, so let's... In fact, I think there was actually a trick where you're not supposed to do the regen right away. Let's see. Well, let's just stun Doc Ock. That should be really good. Okay, wow. Oh, and we stunned Electro. All right, that's pretty good. Wow, all right. Well, okay. That's nice. That's right. I remember originally, the original strategy here, by the way, is to put a slow on Doc Ock, because if you don't put a slow on Doc Ock, you don't get to make sure your Doc Ock goes second. But now that the Doc Ock is stunned, we're probably okay there. Let's see how it goes. All right. All right. That worked out. All right, so now where do I want to put my ability block? Let's do it. Let's do it there. Great focus and resistance as well. Look at that. Now we'll do that. As you can see, really, my biggest issue is my keeping characters like Phoenix alive rather than Doc Ock. What's interesting, too, that I see is, to me, Adam Warlock is a character who reminds me a little bit more of, he's more of a utility character rather than a character like the other Infinity Watch members. I mean, when you guys saw the video of the other Infinity Watch members, they're just steamrolling everything, right? I mean, they're just blowing their way through this. Here, he's got great damage. He's got great stats. He's got great survivability, which is great. But let's face it, he's not obviously overpowered here, but he's doing very well, which is what I'd expect, right? He definitely has a great kit. Whoa. Gotta love that healing there on Doc Ock. One thing I will say, Doc Ock has always been the MVP of Legendary in my mind. I still think he is with the summon. Once you get Shocker going, I do think Shocker does a lot of work for you. The other thing I will say too is, while Adam Warlock is very good, and I think he's clearly a top choice, I don't think he's somebody who is, so amazing within the nodes from what we're seeing so far here that he's like a must-have or anything like that. But he does, what I'm always trying to look at. So I have my DD4 infographic link below. It does not include Adam Warlock because it is obviously an older infographic. But what I try to figure out with these is, not only is the character a reasonable meta choice, I think it's fair to say that Adam Warlock would be a reasonable choice for anyone to bring. But, the question is he a top performer? I think he seems like a top performer. In other words, if you're an alien from outer space, didn't know anything about these characters, and you're thinking to yourself, which of these characters is doing most of the work, I think he'd probably be second after Doc Ock right now, to me. One thing I think is nice that I'm hearing from some players is that Adam Warlock is particularly good when used with Jubilee, because what he can do is extend her blind. Now, I actually screwed up there. What I should have been doing is using the ability block on. Oh, well, that's good. Beast did not use the cleanse. I wasn't going to use the ability block on Beast. But see why I think Doc Ock is so good here? So much of the attention there was directed towards Shocker, right? So that's all right. Well, let's do that there. Let's try to kill Beast if we can. It's a lot of bleeds on Beast right now. I mean, the other thing too that is important to keep in mind is, while he doesn't look as flashy, Maw is very important just for the sheer amount of damage he puts out. Okay. I mean, one thing I will say here is, wow, all right, well, so now we're already into this next mini wave. The reason I'm targeting Grenadier, by the way, is just because he has defense down. I think it's safe to say here that Adam Warlock is easily a top choice. I've used some bad choices here in the past. I mean, Nick Fury, I don't regard as a very good choice, for example. I don't regard Invisible Woman as a particularly amazing. I mean, I think Invisible Woman is fine just because she's got the only cleanse you're going to have. But it seems to me like, if I'm thinking about the stars, this section, I think Phoenix is certainly a star in terms of how she performs. Although, obviously, her meta value outside of DD4 far lower. Jubilee, a lot of people have been swearing by her. I mean, I've definitely gotten some mixed reviews. I do think she takes some skill to play well, because Jubilee is a character that, she's a hero controller. You're going to have Maws in this section and so forth. But that said, guys, she is a good character, certainly, useful in the meta. But as you can see, Doc Ock just takes a ridiculous amount of punishment, and I literally get out Shocker before doing something like using his ult or something like that, because Shocker is the true MVP here, right? He's the reason that Doc Ock is so great, because everybody on the enemy team loves to target Shocker as opposed to targeting your real characters, which is really nice. All right. So what I do is as you could probably tell, I start working on cooldowns as I'm going through the end of the wave. The goal being just to get everything ready to go so that I have all my cooldowns reset. All right. That won't be a problem here. Okay. Let's see if this 2, but rather 3-man team can beat the last wave. All right. So let's stun Doc Ock. Okay. Like I said, Shocker does decent damage. Okay. Let's do that. Extending the stuns on 2 characters pretty massive. Great synergy there between Adam Warlock and Doc Ock. Obviously, Jubilee would also have some great synergy because she would have blinds that could be extended by the basic. Now, we're obviously this is a 2-person squad here, right? So something to keep in mind that obviously that puts us at a disadvantage. I also should say it's worth noting that my characters do have blue ISO on them. That makes them better. Okay, well, now Doc Ock is gone. Adam Warlock is the last one standing, which is quite impressive, although it's also fair to say that, Doc Ock was taking most of the hits. Although, wow, look at that revive. That's something that it's easy to forget about the kit there, but he definitely provides some value in just his sheer survivability as well. I think he's a great character. I think he's easily a top performer. I think great performance here by Adam Warlock. To me, he is a top performer here. He's not as flashy as some other ones. Like it's not, the sort of thing where like, oh wow, we brought him in and he blows away everything, because he's more of a control kind of character, which is why you get all these people saying, oh, Adam Warlock sucks or he's disappointing. I don't think so at all. I mean, I think he's very good. Currently the best legendary, I would say. But, these 2 are kind of in a class, I think, are very good. I mean, to be the best team is probably something like Warlock, Adam Warlock, Doc Ock, Ebony Maw, Jubilee, if you're thinking in terms of meta value as well. Black Bolt has, he's very useful and could make sense for some rosters, but he's, definitely not as high a performer within the nodes. He's better outside the nodes. Nick Fury, some people like him, but frankly, I think even though -7 red star, he's really lackluster, in my opinion, within the nodes. I think he's just there. Invisible Woman, I think, really does provide value because she provides the only cleanse. She provides a ton of survivability. And with this, when you have a T4 and Bending Light, she applies stealth to all allies and then clears stealth from the highest health ally, which generally has meant for me that Doc Ock ends up being the one that's revealed. Now, that may change now with Adam Warlock. So 583 versus, so now Adam Warlock would be the one revealed, which I guess, hey, he's very survivable with the revive, but Doc Ock was really good with all his blocks and heals and so forth. So I do think of as a woman, it provides a lot of utility, but she really has lost her value outside of this. I mean, Fantastic Four is super power creep team. She's not meta in any way. You know, Shuri can be very useful, and a lot of people have really liked her. She actually performs, I think, better than characters like Nick Fury and Black Bolt and so forth. And Jubilee, like I said, I've heard mixed things about Jubilee. I've gotten a lot of reports about Jubilee. Some people swear by her. They love the stun and the blinds. She is a hero controller, so when she dies, Maw gives barrier to the enemy team and so forth. But you know, she's definitely meta, and so I think people... people are liking her from that. So the question, I guess, is, would you take Adam Warlock over Jubilee? I would. Because, first of all, I don't even know for a lot of people whether you need Jubilee at Gear Tier 15. I think Adam Warlock's a more important character. He's got a longer shelf life. Certainly within the nodes, he does more. So I think I would bring Adam Warlock over Jubilee. I think for a lot of people, though, you know, the question is, do you bring Jubilee or, let's say, Phoenix or something? I mean, Phoenix is way better within the nodes than Jubilee. I mean, she's a real star within the nodes because, you know, every time she dies, she goes into Dark Phoenix form and she has her cooldowns reset every single time. And every 5 turns, she's taking 20% health from all enemies. I mean, that's really, really good. You can see the ISO setup I have here. I have her at low health on purpose, so she dies quickly, and then I've pumped up the damage and focus. You know, I mean, I think that is what I would, you know, in terms of looking at these choices, and I will be editing the infographic soon. It's linked below, but that's kind of the consideration here. Not a lot of meta value. Great within the nodes, but not as much meta value anymore. Been really power crept. The stars within the nodes are more like Doc Ock and Adam Warlock. Ebony Maw does very well. Phoenix is a star within the nodes, not as valuable elsewhere. Jubilee obviously has great meta value, and she's useful within the nodes. Shuri's also useful within the nodes and has meta value. Black Bolt, not as useful within the nodes, but still has some value in the meta as a counter for Heroes for Hire. All right, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, check out our Twitch stream that's linked below, and hey, if you have comments, leave them below, or go to my Discord. That's linked there. I will be working on another update to my infographic that's going to include Adam Warlock and the other members of Infinity Watch and the Secret Avengers, who I'll be testing soon.